All I ask is a tall ship and a star to steer her by. So wrote the poet John Masefield, and we get it, the urge to depart, to swiftly kiss off in a vehicle built to go places. All we want is an enthralling ship and a good rack and pinion to steer her by. Is that too much to ask? For some car companies, yes. However, this trio more or less gets it. Handed the key to the Audi A4 or the BMW 2 Series or the new Jaguars, any of their versions. By the way, you can happily chase horizons for as long as the money supports your vagrant gypsy lifestyle. Yes, in order to produce a 10 best winner from this class, we had to cut the holes in our filter extremely fine. Which is a true statement about many segments these days. Cars are indeed demanding more and more gold, but they're also getting better and better. As evidence, we give you Audi and Jaguar, both challengers to BMW's long-standing domination of the compact sports sedan genre, but both at vastly different stages of their journeys. This year, 10 Best again proved that there are some nice cars to choose from if you've budgeted $40,000 to $50,000, but few are as entertaining as BMW's top 2 series models, with their combination of humble size, pouncing, liquid thrust from the optional 6 spots, and piano wire tension to the controls. You can see why we picked the M235i last year, but the world keeps turning. The 2N series lineup gets new monikers. The 230i replaces the 228i as the base 4-cylinder, the M235i becomes the M240i, and now there's the juiced M2, basically an M240i with flares, chairs, tires, brakes, and a suspension tune, plus another 30 horsepower, though it can only match the M240i's torque with a time-limited overboost function. Meanwhile, fresh a new sheet metal from elsewhere is chasing the sports sedan. Another writer, Mark Twain, said cauliflower is just cabbage with a college education. For many years, an Audi could be dismissed as just a Volkswagen with a PhD. But more than 2 decades after VW lit Audi's fire with a deluge of investment in technology and design, a formidable new A4 2.0T sat on our week 2 ballots, attached to a brand with real momentum. Jaguar is the newcomer, having been set free by Ford in 2008 to float downstream like Moses in the basket and into the caring embrace of India's Tata conglomerate. Under Ford, Jaguar was never able to effectively break into the under $50,000 market where all the action was happening. For Brits, waking up after the Brexit vote must have taken them back to the day they woke up to find an X-Type parked in the driveway. Lots of precious time was lost while Jaguar continued to gasp on the sales of its expensive ingots of tweedy British snobbery, steadfastly refusing to take seriously the youth movement in the luxury market that was passing it by. The 2.0-liter diesel and the 3.0-liter supercharged V6s showed up at 10 Best while the turbocharged 4-cylinder gas engine did not. We also had the new XF, the middle sedan between this and the slinky and sadly too rare XJ, and were struck by how similar the styling is. Instead of presenting something new in this, Jaguar's designers seem to have just shaved off a few inches from the XF. Jag needs a cymbal crash to announce its rebirth to younger buyers unaccustomed to seeing the Leaper offered at affordable lease rates. Yet this is 2 pillows banging together. Compare the stark, dull, pro-forma cabin with either the BMW 2's classically technical cockpit or the Audi A4's, an altogether more exciting and more spacious place to do business. The future is being imagined in the Audi as a harmony between the digital and the analog, the instruments a large, configurable TFT screen able to show car information, various menus, or a giant map. Yet it still feels as if you're piloting a car, not an iPad. It's brighter and livelier than the Jag even if you choose black, having as it does swaths of silvery trim that make it less like working at a coalface. With a luxury sports sedan, it's not just about the dynamics. Thus, in our little Goldilocks scenario, in which all the chairs were tried, the adoration inevitably fell back on the BMW. Not the 3 Series, which has grown too large and too mainstream to any longer earn our passion, but the smaller 2 Series, which is just under a foot shorter than an A4 and reminds us of E30s and D46s and the way things used to be. BMW is at heart a small vehicle company, a course set in 1959 when Herbert Quandt saved the ailing maker of princely handmade bolides and diverted its resources into the 1961-1500, instantly creating the market for compact sports sedans. Well, that's idle dreaming. At sunrise on the day after 10 Best, here's where the votes piled up on the M240i, a small car hugging tight a 335 horsepower turbo inline 6, and the M2, the same vehicle but with all slack drawn out of the suspension and steering. The cars may be small, but the prices are mighty. The M240i starts at $45,445, and the only color that isn't a $700 option is white. The M2 begins at $52,695. Again, white only if you don't want to pay extra. If you wish to celebrate BMW's small car heritage and expertise, BMW makes you pay dearly indeed, bleeds you white. But people will pay it. There are no comparable options because the industry has largely abandoned to front-drive platforms buyers of compact sports sedans who wish to drive a compact. To accept a 2 Series into your life, you have to want small, not Mini Cooper snug but what was considered mid-size only a couple generations ago, and be willing to live with 2 doors and the fumble bum way they make you squeeze into the teensy back seat. Plus that price. It's a lot to ask, we know, but if you need to get away in a ship that steers like a star, this is your car.